The third and most recent release in the Woodford Reserve Distillery's Masters Collection is called 1838 Sweet Mash. Now, where does that name come from? Obviously, with a sweet mash process, we've changed the fermentation process, that third of the 5 sources of flavor. Woodford Reserve is a sour mash bourbon. Sweet mash, obviously, is produced without any sour in the fermentation process. And what that has done is forced our yeast, because nothing else has changed. Our recipe, our water, our yeast, our distillation and maturation are the same as they would be in Woodford Reserve. But by changing the sour level of the fermentation process, changing the pH level, we stressed our yeast strain and we pushed it into making more flavors, congeners, that it isn't used to making. And if we're talking about the fruit notes of the Sonoma-Cutrer being very appley, this has given us some really nice blackberry and blueberry jammy notes, some real berry notes, and a hint of maple syrup. We keep getting those sweet aromatics changing on us as we proceed through or progress through the Masters Collection. So a really fruit-heavy whiskey. It smells like it's going to be terrifically sweet on the palate, but this is where it's a real shocker. It is absolutely bone dry, so it's a real nice contrast to what the nose is setting up the palate for. So while you think it's going to be syrupy and sweet, oh, it's just incredibly dry, but in a nice way. It really invigorates the palate, giving us yet another whole new look at bourbon whiskey. 1838, we take that name, and it's a nice internal joke. In 1838, our distillery was built, and James Christopher Crowe, master distiller, and Oscar Pepper distillery owner, the masters we are honoring, pretty well put the sour mash process as the way to make bourbon whiskey and made the sweet mash process outmoded with their pioneering work here at the Woodford Reserve Distillery. So we thought, what better way to honor their work than to make something they said you shouldn't make anymore. And we found out a whole lot about why sour mash is the way to go. Making a sweet mash is very difficult. So we've given it our best shot. First sweet mash made in probably 150 years, and it's a terrific product, but I guarantee you we're never going to make it again. So I hope you enjoy it when you find a bottle.